Hello friends, I hope you are doing well. As you know, much tougher restrictions are in place around Australia. I hope you're all doing your part and being antisocial and keeping your haircuts to 30 minutes or less. Or not, I'm not really sure anymore. Now this is a bit of a redo of the video this morning. Apologize for that if you've seen it. You could probably miss it. There's a few changes, factual changes, so apologize for that. But let's get on with it. Amongst all the global news, I want to bring you the tech and telco news, some discussion and some opinion. So welcome to the Dirt Report. You may notice I'm not mentioning the name of the global event, as it seems that YouTube scans what folks say in videos, then shuts it down quicker than you can spray Glen 20 on your kitchen surface. And remember, because it's only 60% alcohol, you really need to cake it on and, spray a lot of it for it to kill that which cannot be named. Today we have Western Australia to share facial recognition data, Optus Expense customer care, and NBN Co's unmetered satellite data with one small caveat. Actually, two small caveats. Thanks for joining me. If you like these types of videos, then please consider subscribing. And if you end up enjoying this video in particular, then please tap that like button. It always helps. Now, somebody actually asked me last week why. Well, simply if you like it, it means people with similar interests would get to see this video. YouTube would serve it up to them and they might like it too. Just like a virus, it should spread. In any case, let's get started with the first topic. Western Australia is almost half the Australian island, and yet sometimes I feel it's forgotten about. In fact, when ordering online a few years back and wondering where my deliveries were, a friend at uni said to me, of course it hasn't arrived. In WA, you have to wait a while. I laughed, he laughed, the postie laughed, and lost my package. Well, we didn't have to wait long for states to start sharing their facial database with the government's controversial National Facial Biometric Matching database. The controversial database is growing day by day, and to be honest, there is nothing we can do about it. Guess where they're getting their data from? That's right, your driver's license. Transport Minister Rita Safodi introduced legislation into Parliament last week to underpin the upload of the National Driver's License Facial Recognition solution. The bill will allow photos, signatures and other information from WA driver's license and photo cards to be shared. While the system is not yet fully operational, it is managed by the Department of Home Affairs, and the end goal here is to give law enforcement access to all this data instantly from the cloud. Now, Safodi said the biometric template created from facial images provided by states and territories would allow citizens, particularly victims of natural disasters, to consent to having their identities quickly and easily verified when engaging with the government. But we all know exactly what it's for. It's for bird lovers to track each other down. Look, an unrealistic scenario, I'm sure, but ultimately it's to fight crime in a more efficient way. This system will help law enforcement deter crime and prevent identity theft. Interestingly, compared to other countries, we are far behind in this kind of technology. Unfortunately, it's just the way the world is going next. Maybe we'll hear that 5G is actually a mind control initiative. Actually, tinfoil hats are on sale. Get them while they're hot or cold or whatever to stop your brain from melting. In any case, we are promised full privacy and security for the data, and maybe there will be a day when we can believe that. For now, the facial recognition bill hasn't gone through Parliament, so while the system gets set up in the back, they can't fully utilize it yet. They will have to continue to play Cluedo to fight crime. Let's move on to the new NBN satellite data rules. NBN Co have decided to unmeter over 70% of the traffic on Sky Master premium plans, meaning that certain things will not count towards your overall monthly quota. You might look at this and say, damn, 70% is good. Well, yes it is. So what's unmetered? Well, before this change came into effect, the premium plans already had some unmetered web browsing and emails. Now it also includes video calling to support those working from home. Here's what Communication Minister Paul Fletcher has to say. Under the new Sky Master Plus offering, approximately 70% of all data use is expected to be unmetered compared to about 30% under the current plans, with the product also supporting unmetered usage for educational applications and apps such as Skype and FaceTime for the first time. Now, I don't see FaceTime being educational, but when you can't use anything else, it's certainly a good solution. Certainly a good move. Many people will be able to take advantage of this, especially kids who are having a lot of classes from home already, and obviously those who are working from home and need to have video calls with work colleagues, because sometimes a meeting couldn't be an email. It also means that if you're checking in with your family often to see how they are doing, if they're okay, things like FaceTime will not count towards the data cap of you or them. And speaking for a few hours, it may seem like a short time, so hopefully you won't be looking at the clock checking how much data you have left, and it won't break the bank. However, there are two items that will not be included in the unmetered box. First off, the obvious video streaming, so Netflix, Stan, and all that good stuff. It takes a lot of bandwidth, and it is left unchecked, the infrastructure will not be able to handle it. In fact, Netflix and YouTube have reduced their streaming quality to adapt to the Australian NBN infrastructure. Let me know in the comments below if you have noticed any difference. So far, my YouTube videos, whenever I'm watching them, seem to default to 480p, the third lowest, but I seem to be able to then change it manually. In any case, the second is a bit more nuanced. VPNs are still counted on your quota. You see, VPN in its nature hides what you're doing on the internet. Where the traffic passes through your VPN connection, it is secured at both ends, and your ISP cannot see what kind of packets you're sending between you and the other server. So you could be streaming video via VPN and skirt around the restriction, and that's fair game. They're trying to reduce the usage so there's enough bandwidth for everyone. However, VPN is not just for dodging geo restrictions, so you can watch 10,000 more movies on Netflix by faking your location to be in the US. No, it's used by many companies to connect their workers remotely and securely to their data servers. Most enterprise remote desktop solutions require a basic VPN connection, and even if it's not a remote desktop, a VPN connection to the on-site servers are required to access company files. And since our computer workforce is working from home now, using VPN is a major requirement. It's going to be a spike of VPN usage. However, that will use a lot of data. As you work, the VPN connection is continuously ticking along, and all that data streaming is a lot. So now with people working from home, I expect many will be using a VPN connection to connect to their work. And so technically, that will now count towards your data, and you're kind of getting punished because of the nature of the VPN. There is nothing you can do about it because it is all about your company's security. This isn't a problem for those on cable connections, as the data allowance on most plans have been beyond the imagination of what satellite users can purchase or at least afford at the moment. NBN Co says this should have no impact on the systems overall in any way, but we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Finally, our last topic today, Optus is bringing on 500 new customer service and support employees. In fact, 200 or so spots are still up for grabs, so guys, if you're looking for something, there's an option there. This comes in at a time where our internet providers are inundated with calls from their customers about how bad their connections are. And that kind of happens throughout the day. So the wait times on calls are nearly an hour or even more sometimes. You may be wondering why Optus is being so generous. Well, their overseas call centers have been affected by the COVID-19 outbreak, and most countries are in lockdown. So these new positions are local, and while Australia is yet to hit that full lockdown scenario, my understanding is that they will potentially be essential workers. Though with the way the Morrison government releases information, who knows? After all, it seems haircuts are essential too. From my experience in the comments below, on these videos it seems the folks think I need a haircut every damn week. So maybe Morrison has a point. Friends, thank you very much for watching. I apologize for the double video, it's probably the same thing. A few changes. I hope you stay safe out there, and let's flatten that curve. Stay indoors and watch more YouTube. If you like this video, then tap that like button. If you would like to see more, then please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and bye!